Hello everybody, welcome to Voices of Friedreich's Ataxia. Our goal is to raise awareness and funds to cure Friedreich's Ataxia, FA. Today we will talk about My Journey to a Friedreich's Ataxia Diagnosis Part 2 by Kendall Harvey. After the evidence piled up and I accepted that someone who has been extremely active all their life doesn't just suddenly become uncoordinated, I decided it was time for some answers. When I googled loss of balance, the internet convinced me I had an inner ear problem. When I saw the ENT, the doctor said there's definitely something going on here, but from what I can see, your ears look perfect. We can do an MRI just to double check. When that MRI came back fine, I stopped looking for answers and just moved on. I didn't play the next season of softball, but I kept playing sand volleyball. I continued to work out really hard to try to train my balance. I had a lot of trouble with my ankles growing up, miscellaneous injuries like bone chips and sprains. Like I said, I ignored the signs. But I started to think that maybe I just had weak ankles. I did a lot of stretching and work on balance boards to try and build them up. But that didn't work. I was still unbalanced. I clearly remember two incidents in late April of 2013. One evening, I enjoyed a margarita while out with a big group of family and friends. I wasn't drunk, but I'm a lightweight. One margarita is usually enough to affect me a little. When we were leaving, one of our party noticed I was walking weird. She was joking about how it's good we are leaving because I can't walk straight and I'm picking my feet up weird. Time to cut Kendall off. It was done in a light-hearted joking way. I laughed it off but secretly thought, oh no, my balance is getting worse. It's getting noticeable. I was terrified and mortified. That next week, I decided to take my dog for a run instead of going to the gym. We did a warm-up walk through the neighborhood to get to my favorite path around the high school stadium. I stretched and then, nothing. I literally couldn't remember how to make my body start running. I couldn't make my legs do that. I walked the dog home and immediately went to the computer to find a doctor. I found an internal medicine GP with amazing reviews and booked an appointment for the next week. At my appointment, I went through my first neurological exam. It was terrifying to see how symptomatic I was. She agreed that something was going on and said that it was probably neurological, but she wanted to rule some things out first. She drew blood to test for an array of deficiencies, intolerances, and abnormalities. The ones I remember are copper, gluten, vitamin D, and about 20 others. All of that came back normal, so she referred me to a neurologist. There, I did another, more thorough exam. My mom was with me. I remember the doctor asking if I had had any speech changes. I said not that I've noticed. My mom said, well, she talks slower than she used to, but we thought she was just maturing beyond typical high school valley girl talk. The doctor said, I definitely think something is going on here. I'm not sure what. It could be an allergy, a tumor, a movement disorder or something genetic. My mom and I both said, well, it can't be genetic because everyone in my family is fine. What genetic possibilities are there? I vaguely remember him mentioning a specific disease. I got home that night and googled Friedreich movement disorder. I was redirected to the Friedreich's Ataxia Wikipedia page. It terrified me, but I thought, no way, that's me. I'm 25. This says people get symptomatic at 13 to 17 on average, and are in a wheelchair by their 20s. I went for my follow-up appointment to discuss and plan additional testing. My doctor assured me that we would figure this out together and that everything would be okay. He ran an even more thorough blood panel. I convinced myself it was an extreme form of celiac disease that, when unchecked for so long, can have neurological effects. I prayed it was as easy as going gluten-free. The panels all came back normal. Next up, MRI. This time, they did my head, neck, and back. I convinced myself it was multiple sclerosis, MS, or a tumor. But those came back normal, too. The next week, a lady came to my house to draw blood to test for genetic diseases. The office called in the morning on Monday, August 19, 2013 to schedule an appointment for that afternoon to discuss my genetic panel results. Kyle and my parents came to the appointment with me. Kendall Harvey is also an FA patient, and this information was taken from Team Kendall with their permission. The link is provided in description.